Hello there. I am your Moshe. I am Moshe Buyan. I'll be your host for today for this session and few things that I wanted to share today. Weekly, typically I usually go live on weekend, but in the evening today I decided to come on live on Sunday morning. So if you're new with us, welcome again. Hi, if you want to share your email address, phone number, then please do and get engaged. And I will be keeping an eye on some of the text and share with you a few ideas for today, this coming week. We do this every week. So when it comes to stock market is a journey. You never know what's going to happen. We'll go details later today. But what happened today, you can see that in today, last few weeks, that market is not expecting doing the way many of us expected. We thought maybe December was bad and hopefully New Year 2022 things going to turn around. Boom, we got a hit, right? Hit and a lot of things unexpected. It's a macro level and micro level at the same time, political, and also the big earnings are coming up. So some of those numbers did not meet the expectation, and hence, yes, market is not doing as we expected. If you will go details in the chart soon, but last few weeks, we have been seeing that S&P went down. S&P 500 down is last week was over 7% down. Nasdaq and Russell 2000, all of them, all those indices is feeling the same thing. So what do you do? So that's why I thought, let me share some ideas, some of the things that you can consider, those who is active or those who is still thinking that, you might want to be in passive level or active level in stock market. Hopefully this is going to give you some concepts. I am Moshe Buyan, founder of this nonprofit organization, urbanfoodalliance.org. We are a food bank and our educational program is urbanhood.org. If you have not visited please visit us, urbanhood.org. Every week we have many events, on the website is there. And we have some low-cost services also offering stock trading ideas and educational classes, and many classes are going to start soon. Take advantage of it, and the money we generate in order to paying the cost of the technology and resource, and then we use the money to feed the needy in our neighborhood. So, this is not a financial advice. Everything I am sharing is all educational purpose only. Please do not take this as financial advice. You trade with your own risk. At the moment you buy it, it's your money, your responsibility. So please do not take it as financial advice. So let's get back to last week. What do you see that here? This is a weekly view of last week, mostly S&P 500. Here you are seeing that Microsoft last whole week, Microsoft was almost like 3% down, Google almost 7% down, and Facebook Google is almost 6% down, Facebook 7%. Amazon, if you look at Amazon, Tesla, starting technology sector, communication services, consumer, all these sectors, you can see that most of them went red. So what that means, that yes, it's so I'm sure those who has account that you're feeling it. And some of those, who trade options, that which is great, because I know some people, including myself and others, took advantage of that downside. or you use some of those things we always say and hedge it, and instead of call, make a put call, and then hopefully, you made some money. But it still is ugly. If you look at it, the Netflix, Netflix is a huge turnaround last week. What happened in this, the earnings did not meet the street expectation. Since earnings did not meet the expectation, a lot of the times earning time is hit it or miss it. Either you are going to make very good money, but most of the time is just like having a lottery. Do you really want to take that chance? So some people who already thought, had him, he did not know that, what might happen, but you may have seen in green on your Netflix portfolio share, so you kind of sold some of them, and hopefully still you are thinking to go buy back, or at least you are not in bad shape. However, the others, who is still holding on it, and it's a good business, it's a good company. What happened, it just like temporary. Over time, in long term, Netflix is going to turn around. And I do not think that you need to be too much worried about, hey, what's going to happen. Take advantage of the downtime. As an investor, when we say take advantage of downtime, meaning, you buy low, sell high. So this is a great business. And if you believe in that business or that sector, you understand it, you might want to consider investing those business like Netflix or any of these red, where you see there's a plenty of opportunity for you to make money. And one of the things that we all recommend is go with the business that you know of, you understand, you're familiar with it. That way, when there are downtime like this happens, then you know that this is a good solid business. Why not stay with that business? Now let's look at Apple. Apple is, pretty much most of us know Apple, how they evolve, how they're coming up with all the new innovation, a way to penetrate market and create a new business and opportunities and service. So they are in multiple business products area, they're in service area, they are also coming up with a um, new way to new way to create new markets. We know that they are getting into an EV market, soon, sometimes with Tesla and so on. So if you believe in that business long time, you know that Apple is going to go higher and higher. So with the short term, some of the economical thing we are going to sharing soon, that as Fed mentioned, that they are going to be increasing the rate and the monetary policy is going to be more tighter. When that happens, yes, some of the business is going to be pull back little, but business like this, which is already making money, why not take advantage of it, right? If you now, what you have seen last week, now look at this bigger picture, because as an investor, you have to look forward, not backward. You learn from the things happened, but are we in the bad shape? Last whole year, look at the last year, that uh, the Nasdaq, S&P, these charts, I took it earlier, but earlier a few weeks ago, but you can see that Microsoft grew in 1 year 51%, Google 65%, Facebook, Amazon barely made the grew last whole year, Apple 33%. So when Apple pulled back 5%, 6%, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's a healthy thing in stock market when things pull back like this. But then what do you do as an investor? You just look at the areas that you feel comfortable with and invest in those areas. So next week, that some of the few things that you should consider or know that I'm going to share in economic side, the S&P, we've seen that, it lost last 6 days. I'll go through the chart, player. And in fact, let me go open my chart view. Let me open my chart. Where is it? Okay, here is the chart. If you see that this chart S&P last last few days starting here, that January 13th, starting January 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, all 6 days last week, last week and previous, just as a S&P is just keep going down. It's so what you have seen the last 6 days, yeah, is a temporary. We know that when market like this is not going to be too long, it's going to turn around, but and this coming week also, that the things that you need to be aware of: on Wednesday, monetary policy FOMC meeting is going to happen. So in that meeting, they are going to share more details about why market went down, that before Fed was operating in loose mode. They were just pumping more money and so on thing, and quantum easing, that many of you know, that printing all the new money coming in, 120 billion every month is coming up in the market. Of course, it's flooded with all those extra money, and mortgage and the rate was not increased last 4 years. But now they're going to be stop tapering. They're going to be mentioning about what they're going to do to control that this inflation, that 77% to reduce to 2%. What is their plan, and some of the tactical information they'll be sharing this coming week, Wednesday. So typically when that happens, yeah, market fluctuates. And since last time Fed released their meeting, that's why you saw that whole SPY went down, but now increasing the rate. And also now they will add a little bit more context. Hopefully market will come down, knowing that Fed still is not pulling everything off the market. They will do the best. That way market economy is still strong enough that way some of the business which pull back big time is slowly going to turn around. So hopefully that we are hopeful that if earnings work out, then I'll go details more, and then an economy also, forward looking economy also is strong, that we are still in bullish market. So keep an eye on Wednesday. And then important things you need to keep an eye, that whole world economy is struggling. It's not the US alone. That it's a $30 trillion economy, that every world leaders are trying to figure out what they need to do this coming 22 to stay ahead, not deal with something that we have never seen it. This whole COVID and natural disaster, all the things that we cannot control as a human, and then it's just happening. But still, how is we can still move forward? Some believe in some of those areas that, hey, vaccine and vaccination. Some don't believe in. That's fine. It still is a healthy thing to have that, agree to disagree. But at the end, it's a $30 trillion economy. Everyone is moving towards one direction. So we are still in bullish market. So we know we have a challenge in supply chain. We have a challenge in inflation. You have a challenge in the economic growth, and a challenge with all the increasing price and all so on, right? And the challenge also in the jobs. But still, it looks like all the world leaders are working together to move forward. So I would not be too much conscious about what happening now. Just look at the big pictures. If you feel like it's a over time, the company like Disney, it's a solid business, they're struggling now, but they will turn around. It's a good investment that you might want to consider. company like Walmart, you know that these business, they not only are a brick and small store, but at the same time their technology is a new business, and so many enhancements they made that it will turn around, it will move forward. So why not you take advantage of some of these business like this, where you see the people, Walmart, Costco, Target, people, no matter what happens, people are going to go there, right? Why not you take advantage of some of those downtime? So, again, key is buy low, sell high. You want to get those stocks to take advantage of. Last week, why market went down? You see that last week, this is the earnings for the year, for this coming month. Now is the time to share that in the first quarter, that all this business, are they performing the way they have been doing last 2021? So and how did they end up closing last quarter last year? So as last week, the finance and the tech giant Netflix shared their earnings, it shocked the investors. We know the way market was going, that when Fed is going to increase the rate, typically when Fed increase the rate, your mortgage is good for financials, because people are going to you keep their money in the bank, and banks are coming up in a creative way still in sustain add value to people's life. So when that happens, it's been growing higher, but some of the numbers came last week. It was shocking. Because the shocking, boom, financial market went down, and then technology, we saw that in Netflix, it was not a good sign that what happened. The Netflix, the numbers, it seems like some of those communication internally is not right with the street. So I'm sure the Netflix, being leader for a while, they will move forward. They will have a proper information to the street. Hence, Netflix is I believe in the business. I will think that I in fact myself added some Netflix last week. If it goes down, am I going to add more? Yeah, of course I'll do it, because I'm looking at a long time, right? So this coming week, you can say we'll go more details. You can say a lot of large, huge companies earnings are coming this week. Then you say next week, whole month, we'll have a busy month this coming week. So hold on to your wallet. Don't go crazy about buying all the stocks. Just buy what you are familiar of and if you feel comfortable with. So this coming week, it's starting Monday. You can say Monday, all the earnings are coming. IBM, Logitech, Peter, and SIFI. Some of this after close tomorrow is going to come up. IBM is a good company to invest in, and now we'll all dive into some of these, and share with you that that you may want to consider. But let's see actually with IBM, what do we see with IBM? If I put IBM, what do I see in IBM? Technically, what we see on IBM, what happened IBM? IBM is in the chart. What am I seeing here? You can see IBM tried to go over 150 areas, but it's not able to get there, 140, 150. So one of the things that IBM needs to be over whenever it comes back, IBM is uptrend mode, but at some point you see that from 115 it came back. When was that? It's not in November, it was 115. Since November, slowly all the other big tech was suffering, but IBM seems to be is moving higher. Why is that? It's a solid business. We know that IBM is a giant in technology, but they didn't have the growth like many others what we have seen earlier. So if you are looking into business where do I invest for long term, IBM is a good business that where not only they are reshaped some of their leadership team, some of the priorities, and some new growth area that IBM getting into. that you might keep an eye on this. But what do we see this coming week? Is this is the IBM this, but as far as the that IBM, if I see that nope, no, IBM earnings this week is about $9. What is a plus minus $9? It's going to be, it might be this week. So you might want to keep an eye on IBM, that how high it can go. It's like about $9-10 that it can go upside. But for now, it's short term. It shows is long. But I would, if somebody want to play with IBM, that I would say it's a good buy at this current price, and I would consider buying it, because I know that over time IBM may have a something shocking, not much. If it does pull back, it's going to pull back very, another $10. It's come back to, you can see that, it's not it won't be that much, but $10 pullback is not bad. And upside also, and it has much higher. As interest goes higher, this one has much potential to go back to 140-45 zone. So this is a stock that you might want to consider. What else? And then what we see that stock Microsoft, Johnson Johnson, and then Microsoft. Let's see what we see. The Microsoft, we all know that most of us where Microsoft is stand. But one of the things that you might want to see that what's the Microsoft upside, downside. Microsoft is coming up with a lot of unconventional way to increase their market share. You can see that $17. So Microsoft right now is like below $300. It touched last week. It is ready to come back in around $17-20 this coming week, on the upside or the downside. Either way, it can go. So remember, earnings is all about that. If street doesn't like something what they said during earning call and the number, it can go the other way. But currently momentum is there. Microsoft has a strong 290 to 300, the price line sitting there. If it start hold on to it, I would not be surprised to see that Microsoft is turning around. We know that they invested a lot of money in Azure, and those who is in a crypto and Bitcoin world that you are hearing, the blockchain, Microsoft is leading. We took over the leadership from AWS cloud in those areas. So especially that the type of partnership or acquisition Microsoft made in gaming side, also we have seen that then they bought a couple of companies. So Microsoft truly might come up with the numbers that might shock us either way. But if let's say if it goes down for wrong reason, just like Netflix, that might then be an opportunity for you to grab Microsoft on a good sell price. So I would strongly consider talking or thinking to get Microsoft. On Tuesday, Wednesday, the big day is a big, Kahuna is Tesla. You can see the Boeing, Abbott, and AT&T. All of them is in the morning. But in the after market hour, we know that FOMC is meeting also happening that day. But Tesla is going to be after hour. So what do we see the Tesla, on Wednesday? Let's check. Tesla. We know technically Tesla is a stock nobody can tell is sometimes it follows technical, but we know any news or events supersede. But on technically, yeah, Tesla is a bearish. It has some downtime. It is suffering. Can it come around, and how much is going to be the change? We see it might happen on the day on the earnings. typically around 60, 65 market makers move we are looking at. You're looking at around 65 up and upside downside. So if Tesla moves up, you can see that it will, we know that Tesla, in a day, it moves 100 points that in the past. So hopefully Tesla, what it has been done last 4 or 5 quarters, that it has proven that it's keep going, their earnings are shocking, going higher and higher. And they are not only able to figure out in this current resilient market that they are innovative. So we do hope, there is some good news coming up, and then Tesla moves up, So I am short term, tomorrow or this week that we might see, Tesla might pull back with the market if market and just turn around, which we know it will turn around. It's not for long term. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday might be shaky day, but after Wednesday, it might whole stock market might be in fireworks. If Microsoft, Tesla, some of them numbers are coming much better than what Netflix and financial did last week. We have seen these big techs kind of has proven us time and time that they are still the leader. They can move forward. Why not these business? So I would strongly consider thinking, if you believe in the business, Tesla it might, shock us. So I am bullish on Tesla overall. It's a short term, and that, just like many others, Tesla has been hopefully is going to turn around. So on Thursday, big kahunas in Apple. You see the Apple and in the morning that the McDonald's, some of those business McDonald's, has been, it's a good value business. We are seeing that when time like this happens, that you want to get at time like this means when federal or FOMC gets tightened up, people are going to go places, where it's not too expensive, but they're still in a creative way, innovate and then serve the community. So it's a good value business that McDonald's, I do think, might have a good numbers turnaround. So and then Apple is, we all know Apple is short term, momentary, but can it go down a little bit more? It may, but over long term, Apple is still solid business. You should not, if you pull back, add some more on of your long term retirement account and stuff. This is a good business that you want to keep it and just hang on to it. And then on Friday, like, you have Caterpillar, there's some of these, material stock, is doing very well. So I would say, I don't know, trade some of this, but it's a good business, learn the business, Chevron Energy. We have seen that it's turning around, doing very well. So keep an eye on this whole energy sector. And even if you do not want to go in one individual stock, you might want to still keep an eye on those business that you care about. So what else we see, and this coming week, the look ahead, so we know the Samsung is in Europe, is going to be sharing their earnings, and some of the chip makers is going to come also in Asia, that in Korea and those. And some job number, also Singapore, Taiwan, Australia is going to come up. That those who is investing in that market, we'll see. But what else in Europe, in UK, what we are seeing that Prime Minister Boris Johnson is getting a scrutiny about the COVID rules and restriction that in his own party is fighting. Is against some of the decision he made. So same thing we are seeing that happening with other countries, Germany and other neighboring countries or in Europe, also feeling the same pressure. So this week you are going to see that German going to come up with a vaccine mandate and COVID rules. Is this going to be aligned with UK, or they're going to be less loosened? That might make a little effect with the market. We know currently our market also in USA, we are seeing the same thing, that with this Omicron is going much higher number than Corona before, and investors are afraid, are we going to have another shutdown or so on. So hopefully we'll find out what others world leaders are doing. And on next week, that there is a Tuesday, Wednesday, they are going to have election for Italian president. In Italy, usually when this type of election happens, 3-4 days event. So that's something that keep an eye on. And Americas, that we saw, as we mentioned, that keep an eye on Wednesday, the Fed, the FOMC meeting. Depending on that, that's going to make a huge impact. Are we going to go down another 5%, 6%, like what we have seen in SPY or Nasdaq and a small business? That's something that you might want to keep an eye on it. And we talked about the disappointing earnings happened last week. Earnings, and this week is over 100 companies are going to share their earnings. So you do not want to play, especially those who is thinking it's going to keep going higher and higher. If you are not into playing any earnings time, please do not play on earnings. It's very risky. Playing earnings time during earnings time is almost like buying a $1 million lottery. You never know, but most of the time it's a disappointment. It's very risky to do this. Okay. I think this is something so far what we talked about. We talked about some of the market economy today. We talked about some stocks and then the futures, and something we have not touched, crypto. Now let me bring a little bit about those who is in the crypto world. What do we see on the crypto side? Okay, look at Bitcoin. Okay, BTC. If you see the Bitcoin, what happened Bitcoin, you see that from where it was 50,000, in December it was over 50 and then came down to 43, and Bitcoin has a strong more. And some of the things what you are looking at is over time you're going to learn, but you see it tells us that it has more, it's keep going down more. But if I look at a Bitcoin that's over time Bitcoin has a huge number. It has to be. You see that it passed every of this, all this chart or line I have is keep going down. But typically, if you look at Bitcoin, that Bitcoin 29,000, it has to be stay above 29,000 areas. When it was not too long ago, when July last year, you see that around 30, 33, this price. On the right side shows you price. If Bitcoin cannot stay above 30 and it goes below, that means it's breaking this. You say it's a whole Bitcoin world is zigzag. It goes up, down, up, down. It just keep going down every week. What it shows you like it's starting November, every week Bitcoin is keep going down, 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 right? So when you look at it, what tells you that everything is happening right now in FOMC federal, and what the regulation they're doing, and the news event in around the world, in Russia, that they just announced they are going to be, it's illegal to mining in Bitcoin and so on. It's not good in the friendly and in the environment world. So when you're hearing those are political leaders are taking different direction, at the same time they're in USA also there is more regulation coming in, then Bitcoin is doesn't look like it's ready to turn around so quick. So I'm not saying it's going to be going down this week, but this kind of tells you what you see in front of you. The pattern looks ugly. it has to be stay above 30. You can see everything we're looking at 30. If it doesn't, Bitcoin has a more. You see the next, if it breaks this, any of these, you see the 28, 20,000. What do you see the next? All this green, it's come down to here. You see that? So hopefully it gives you an idea. Whole crypto world is following with this Bitcoin, is the one leading the world. But we know that the technology, blockchain, Ether, and others are came in after that, and they are solving with true business problem using the Bitcoin, the technology, blockchain. So some of the leaders like Bitcoin, when it comes in, it goes down, the entire industry or the whole sector is going to be suffering. What we have seen in technology, that stock goes down, pretty much technology gets big hit because it gives you highest growth. So Bitcoin made a lot of people billionaires, millionaires. I know a lot of people took a profit when it came down, came to 60 and this, some of them are, those big whales are still sitting at, there. No, this is part of the thing, happens long term. Some keep buying it here, some, slowly they have enough cash that it goes down, they will buy more. So you as an investor need to be very careful that what do you want to do. Are you really getting into in that, or just wait till it gets settled down, right? So next step, what I want to share with you, that I will leave you, that what I shared, I hope is helpful and beneficiary for you. If you find this helpful, please visit us, or like the video, share with somebody, and we'll be keep doing more often. And on our website you'll see a lot of free events, and low cost the membership that we offer to people who is very active in Bitcoin, crypto, and those area. Every week we are live we have 9:30 till 4 p.m. on market hours. We are live chats, and anybody can join in and then ask questions and so on. And then we help each other. We have thousands of members in the community. We learn from one another. So join us there. And on the website, you'll see the free stock tips, and then we have some community, social media, and all those things. So take advantage of those free resources. And if you are into Bitcoin blockchain, that you'll see that tomorrow night we have a blockchain sessions, and Tuesday, every week, Mondays, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something, some free the educational sessions are listed on the website. And also we have sessions like people who is more active, that we give them guidance and help them to understand some of the things I shared with you. If you like the video, please like it, share with somebody, and then hopefully it's helpful. Thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.